So there's almost an apology that leads. If you feel like your body doesn't look how it should look, we don't talk about it. An assumption, an unspoken assumption that is shared among vast majority of women, I would say. And now if I could go back to my little junior high self, I would say, "Oh, sweetie, fitness used to feel hard to me, heavy, like an obligation, like something that never permanently comes off your to-do list. There was no joy in it. There was no fun in it. It was just like, oh, I have to do this again every day. I have to take care of my body and I have to eat healthy and all these things that I didn't want to do, but I guess I better do it. I thought there was something wrong. I look down and it doesn't look like it's supposed to. I look down and it doesn't look like the magazines. So my junior high self, my little ninth grade self is like, what's wrong? Why doesn't my body match the magazines that I see? What I've learned though is there was not something wrong with me. There was a gap in education. And I've learned that actually seeing your body as just some obligation that you don't want to have to deal with, but you're stuck with it. Seeing yourself as something that needs to be fixed, as a never ending to do list item, that's part of what keeps you stuck. And so let's talk about what actually works instead. Welcome back to the Reframe. This is where we take what you've been told about your body, food, and your self worth, and we turn it right side up. I am your host, Jennifer Lucas Gibbs, and let's get into it. Fixing yourself can be part of what's keeping you stuck. Does this make sense? Okay, we're going to take some of these ideas, break them down and help you sort them so they make sense in your mind so you can then have an easier and more natural time taking different kinds of action in your life than you have before because you'll understand why you do things and how they matter and you'll be drawn to new behaviors in a way that you haven't been before. So I'm so happy that you're here. Let's go back to my junior high ninth grade self. I remember, and I was gangly, tall. I'm almost 5'10". I sprouted up and got tall and very awkward for many years in my junior high phase, but I wasn't heavy. I was pretty thin. And I would look down though, and I would say, my body doesn't look like the magazines, right? I was already very aware of the magazines and what the covers looked like. And even though this was like the 80s, I still knew that there was some kind of, I'm supposed to look like this and I don't look like this and I don't understand why. And there wasn't a lot of education out there, especially for junior high kids. So I was just like, the problem is I'm kind of fat. So I need to be less fat, and then I'll match the picture. And I remember specifically, I don't know why this took out to me so much, but I remember sitting and looking at my pants in my tight jeans, and I'm like, my leg was like squishing and like filling up the jeans. And I remember just thinking, I was kind of like disgusted. That looks like a sausage. Like my thigh looks like a sausage. And it doesn't look right. It doesn't look like the sexy model girls. And I was raised in Europe during that time and they show a lot of skin out there. And so like I'm looking and I'm seeing like there's all these different body types. And what's wrong with mine? How come mine doesn't look right? So that was my idea. And I figured it out. My junior high self figured out I just need to lose 3 pounds and then I'll look right. Like that was my conclusion after really putting some deep thought and reading some magazine articles. That's the problem. It's 3 extra pounds. Now, mind you, this was me being skinny fat. I didn't understand anything about muscle tone. And now, if I could go back to my little junior high self, I would say, oh, sweetie, let's just do a little bit of strength training. And your little sausage legs is not it's not just like a too fat leg. It's just not quite the right shape. You want that muscular physique. And it's not muscular because you haven't trained it. And so that's all it is. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your leg. There's nothing wrong with the shape of your leg. You're just untrained. That's so easy to fix, right? How often do we make the wrong conclusion about our body? Yeah, but about a situation, about an interpersonal interaction, like our brains just like they draw a conclusion and they're like, yep, that's it. Or maybe they just draw on someone else's conclusion and be like, that must be what it is. Right. So that's basically what I did with magazines. The problem is fatness. So then if I have less fatness, then I'll match the magazines. Right. Logic doesn't track. That's not it. Please stay tuned and we'll teach you more about the right ways to handle this situation. As a ninth grader, I didn't understand about muscle tone, about fitness, about healthy habits. I didn't know that mindset or how I think was part of it. I just knew that if you stop eating as much, then you would presumably lose weight. I was so naive. The old story is if there's something wrong with me because my body doesn't look right, then I'll do some stuff like I didn't even understand about exercise. And at that point, I was walking probably 4 or 5 miles a day, maybe more, just because of the situation I was in with transportation and school and stuff. And so it wasn't that I wasn't active, but the idea is if I just do the right things, if I work hard enough, or if I just stop eating as much, whatever that means, I didn't know anything about macros, carbs, protein, any of those kinds of things, fats. I just knew that fat was kind of bad back in the 80s. That's what they told us. But I just knew if I do something, I'll finally feel okay in my body. And then I can just get rid of these 3 pounds and then I'll be done with this whole like I just want to be done with this whole my body not looking right thing. So I have to do something. There's something I haven't done. There's something I'm deficient in. I've done something wrong, and that's why my body doesn't look right. Right? That was my underlying belief. Now, because of the way that I was raised in the Air Force, we moved around a lot. I got a lot of opportunities to start over and make new friends and get to know new areas. And so one of the ways that I was able to feel secure and build my identity back in those days is if I could be an achiever. I would get good grades and I would be excellent at things and I would be on the honor roll and I would do a good job with certain things. And so I knew that even if relationships were hard when I was younger because I was always starting over, then at least I could do some things. I could be in charge of my grade because they always gave you a grade before you left to the next place that you were going to live. And so I kind of took that mindset and applied it forward into the area of fitness. And if there was something wrong with my body, then I would just be an achiever and I would fix it and then I would be good enough, right? Have we ever thought about if I hit X milestone, if I hit this dress size, if I hit this number on the scale, if I hit this many inches around my waist, then I'll be happy with my body. That will be good enough. And the body as a project to fix make some wrong assumptions. So this is where we're going to get into the reframe of the belief that if your body isn't perfect, whatever that means in your own mind, then you have to fix it. You've done something wrong. So the beginning belief is if my body doesn't look how I want, I've done something wrong and now I need to fix it. And then I will feel better. Okay, so this is a belief. We don't talk about it, but it's an underlying, just an assumption, an unspoken assumption that is shared among vast majority of women, I would say, is if I don't look right, I better go on a plan. I better do something, right? I'm starting a program. I'm not on my best way, but I'm starting a program on Monday. So don't mind me while I sabotage myself over the weekend. I'm starting something Monday, so we'll get it together. So there's almost an apology that leads. If your body doesn't look how you feel it should look, you feel compelled to explain yourself. I'm cutting carbs, or I've been on this plan for, and it's just nothing is working. If you want to say, I'm doing the work, I'm not a slacker. If you're what about off that, that can work for a while if you're just pushing, trying to fix. That will work as long as your willpower holds. But we all know the stories about like why that is finite and why it doesn't last. But going back to that belief, it doesn't last because the belief is there's something wrong with you and you're in debt. You're below the line. There's something wrong. We have to get back to square. We have to get back to even. Now, the reframe that I want for you is what if your worth is infinite? What if you are just fine right now? What if you are perfect for you right now? I want you to sit with that for just a moment. You are worthy of good feelings. You are a precious soul. You've been given this body to learn how to manage and handle all the crazy things it does. It's got hormones, it's got moods, it's got who knows what it's doing half the time, right? We have to go get blood work sometimes to figure out what's going on inside of the skin, right? Your body is precious and you are precious. And physical beauty is just the very first layer. Physical beauty is the most basic, it's the easiest to see, it's the easiest to take action on, and it's easier to tell if it's beautiful or if it's not. And so then it's subject to being judged a lot, especially like first thing in the morning when you're like, I have no makeup on. I still have to look at myself in the mirror. And I still get to love myself in the mirror. We'll talk about that another time. That's where we're coming from is if the assumption is something's wrong with me, I'm below the line, I'm trying to catch up, right? That's I'm working so hard. I'm just trying to get back to like where I should be, where I feel like I'm even just okay instead of apologizing for the state of my physical self. Whereas if you start with the personal value piece that I am worthy of feeling good, I am worthy of stewarding this incredible physical body that carries around my precious soul through all of these earth life experiences. Wow, that's a different perspective, right? Beauty is physical at the most basic level. And the way I teach this kind of perception is the next level is subjective. It's how we perceive ourselves. What do we think of ourselves? We can think we're beautiful regardless of what anyone else thinks. And then it's energetic. There's some people, I know you know them, that are just attractive. They are magnetic. It's not even charisma. It's like, I just want to be near them because they just are good energy, good vibes, right? So that's the next level. And then the higher level would be your spiritual beauty, the thing that you can do nothing to add to, you can do nothing to ruin it or subtract from it. You just are an infinite being. You are infinite. And so, if we can start with that as our premise, we don't have to earn anything. We don't have to try to get above the line. If we start above the line, then we're like, I'm just cruising. I'm just cruising. It's okay for me to learn how to run this body. It's okay for me to learn ways to find more joy in this body, right? If you try to go the other way, if you try to lead with punishing yourself or like unbreaking yourself and just, oh, I got to get it together, that's a lack mindset. Whereas if you begin to let in the idea that you have infinite worth, divine nature inside of you, divine DNA, then of course you should have a beautiful body. Of course you should treat it with respect. If you have a Ferrari, you're not throwing juice boxes and chip bags in the back seat, right? You're getting it detailed. So just detail this, girl. Yes, it can be fun and it takes some effort. But even the effort is fun once we wrap our heads around it, once we make it part of who we are. So you can't punish yourself into a body that you love because punish does not add to love, right? It takes you the wrong direction on the spectrum. Pressure and self criticism are not fuel. Those are things that diminish the energy that adds to your vitality of life, and they run out. And you'll find yourself in this push pull, this tug of war of, if you're trying to push, then if you're like me, I am a rebel and I don't like to follow rules I set for myself. I don't like to force myself to do some things. Now, if there is a reason and if there is like a container for this amount of time, I'm going to do this and this is why, sometimes I'll take those things on if I just want to see what I'm made of or could I challenge myself or whatever. But it's because I want to see how much it is. It's out of abundance. It's not because I don't feel good enough. And if I did this thing, then I could prove that I'm good enough. I could prove that I'm beautiful if I do this, if I win this beauty contest, if I win this race, right? It's a different energy. There's nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove. You are already enough. That is your infinite worth. Now, I'm going to put a little asterisk, which I know most people won't do. You are enough. With an asterisk? What? It doesn't mean that we're done. You are enough means you have everything you need. You are perfect for you right now. And yet, it will feel good to grow. Your soul wants to grow. So as you get more and more stewardship, it will feel good. But if you force, if you push, that messes with your agency, and that's dangerous because people do what they want to do, and the harder you force, the more you can resist, and you, my friend, are a formidable opponent. I would not get in your way. I know you're stubborn. I'm stubborn. I know you're like me because you watch my show. But change built on I don't feel I am enough and I have to prove, that doesn't hold. The I don't deserve it is the underlying thought. I'm not really good enough, so I'm going to prove that I am so that everybody else can think that I am good enough because I'm not sure. I doubt myself, right? So that premise is it can't last because the underlying belief is it's just a cover story. And that's the whole imposter syndrome thing is I'm not really good enough, but maybe if I put on these Spanx and these lashes, then nobody will notice that I have these things. Now, can you wear lashes and Spanx and fancy nails and still feel like you're really enough? Of course. Of course. So I'm not bagging on those things. Those are some fantastic tools for gals to boost their physical and subjective beauty. But what I don't want you to do is pushing, 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 burning out. And then you're like, oh, it's too hard. And then you're just floating, drifting, losing ground. And then you start over because then you've broken trust with yourself and there's a little seed of doubt. If I really tried hard again, I don't know if I could do it. That is a dangerous place to be. So, what I would rather have you do is change the frame to instead of I'm fixing, I'm building, I'm developing, I'm growing. The fixing piece starts from that underlying belief that there's something wrong, that you're not enough, that you're broken. And so we're just you were never broken. You were infinite from before the moment you appeared on this planet. There is nothing that you have to fix. You just start where you are, wherever you are today, right now, you're at point A for the rest of your life, and we're just going to go. And so we're going to flip it to starting to build yourself. And there was a quote that was life changing. It was like, it's totally a meme you would see and then just scroll beyond. But for me, it was a moment where I was like, I've been searching for myself, like all these things. And I saw this quote life is not about finding yourself, life is about creating yourself. And I like, oh, that blew my mind. And I'm like, oh, I get to pick. I don't have to try to figure out some mystery about who I am. I get to choose it and I get to just create it. So if you want to be that blissful, bold, bodacious bombshell that I know you already are, if you want to display more of it, it starts with the highest piece of acknowledging your worth and being like, I'm pretty fantastic and I should probably display that. Right? Doesn't that feel better than, "Oh, I never can catch up. I never can just keep the weight off." Doesn't that feel like heavy energy, right? That's not what you were built for. That's not what you were made for. What actually makes these changes stick is that care, that self-care, that respect for your body. It's different. It's one thing to say, "I'm not gonna let myself have that because self-loathing because I don't like it. I'm gonna punish myself. I ate too much yesterday, so now I'm not gonna have anything good today. There's a lot of dangerous, unproductive thought patterns. But the inverse is you show up for yourself. You care for yourself. You say, "Wow, I'm a big deal." And the creator of the universe also created this body just for me. Nobody else lives here. It's just me. And I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to live in gratitude that I have this body and I love everything it can do. And I'm going to give it some grace for the things that it doesn't do so well. Right. And what we want to do is just create that small daily proof that you take care of yourself, that identity that you're a woman that pauses and that makes time to care for her physical self and her mental and emotional self. There's an app for that. It's hashtag Eat Beautiful. We can help you if you need tools for that. Just come see us at seeyourselfbeautiful.com. The results will follow the relationship. So you can white knuckle, diet, force, put rules, make yourself go to the gym. A lot of people do. And those things can work. And as soon as you take your foot off the gas, as soon as you let go of that white knuckle grip, immediately most people start losing ground and they start undoing. I was a beach body coach for a while, a couple years, and they had an amateur fitness competition. And I was like, it's a program that I was promoting. And I'm like, I'm going to do this program. I'm going to get up on stage in a bikini. I've never done that. And I haven't done it since. But I'm like, I'm going to do this thing. So I did. And it was very intense because there's not a lot of accountability like getting up on stage in front of a room of fitness professionals in a bikini. Yeah, it's quite vulnerable of a space to be in, to say the least. But I just remember being very focused and very restrictive. I was counting every single thing that I was eating. I was working out to the letter as hard as I could. And there was an end game. If I didn't perform, I was still going to show up in a bikini, but I just wasn't going to be proud of it. So I gave myself, something to push back against. And it was temporary, right? It was a number of weeks that I was like so focused. And so I did that. But then I undid that. I didn't try to, but I just was like, I just was like, I remember, and I was aware of it, and I still did it. I systematically went around to all the places that I had not allowed myself to go, and I bought all the treats that I had not allowed myself to have while I was training for this show, this fitness competition, and I ended up right back where I started. I like it didn't hold because I didn't do it for the reason that I respected my body and I cared for it, and because I feel infinite. I wanted to prove that I could do this thing, and it was a marketing thing, and it wasn't the reasons that build identity. And when who you are is the gal that just naturally chooses the healthy option because that's the most obvious thing. I like it. I know I'm going to feel good after I eat that still. I'm not going to feel bad the next day or whatever. I just pick this because it tastes good and it doesn't cause a problem in my life. I just don't even think about it much. I just pick these things and then I used to never be the girl that worked out, but then I made myself an accountability system for that, and I got into it and I did it and I did it, and then now it's become who I am. And I don't even feel right if I don't start the day moving my body. I like to go to the gym first thing, and I'm like, oh, my joints are loose, my muscles are like worked. I got a pump, I feel strong, like all those good things. And who I am now is a fit, healthy gal and a gal that goes to the gym every day. If I travel, I'm like, I'm booking a hotel with a gym because duh, I want a gym. I like the gym. Your exercise may look different, but that's what I like. I like to lift something heavy or I like to dance. That's my things. And so that has come out of the identity that I've built for myself. So the lesson that I want you to take away from today's reframe is you don't have to earn the right to feel good. You don't have to prove anything. You don't even have to be a certain number of pounds. You can just be you where you are right now and just say, you know what? I'm going to begin maybe, or maybe I'm just even going to think about, I'm going to consider starting to do some things differently in my life so that in my default situation, if I do let my foot off the gas and I stop like forcing myself on a program, if I'm just being my normal natural self, that can just be a healthy gal with a body that she's comfortable in. It sounds revolutionary. This is what I want for you. I just want you to not think too hard about what you're going to eat and how you're going to move your body every day because we just move our body every day. We breathe every day, right? We just move your body every day. You woke up with one, let's use it. So I want you to not really even have to think about those things. You don't have to schedule it in because you're like, I always do that. It's a given, right? I always brush my teeth. I don't have to set an alarm to brush my teeth. I don't have to plan it in my schedule. I'm like, no, I'm brushing my teeth. That's who I am. I'm the girl that brushes her teeth morning and night. This is my habits, and I've built that. And I want you to be the gal that's just, of course, I work out every day. Why would you not work out? That would feel bad. That would be like, I'd get restless. That doesn't feel good. That feels I don't want that, right? I want you to want to do these healthy things because they make you happy and make you feel good and they make you feel joy in your body. And you're like, it's so yummy to do like a blueberry parfait or oh, I know the best recipe for this creamy chicken and with this veg or I know like a treat. It just you only need a little bit because it's so rich. But oh my gosh, my mouth is watering just thinking about my flourless chocolate torte or all the things that you can eat and still be healthy and still enjoy your life and still enjoy your body at the same time. Imagine if you could enjoy your food and your body at the same time. It's not impossible. If you need help with it, please stay tuned and visit us at seeyourselfbeautiful.com. That is what I do. It is the heart of what I do. I don't want you to wait for some future day to become something. Become that future version of you that you can't wait to see. Become her right now. Just let's start living like her right now. Let's start enjoying the things that she enjoys right now. Let's reap the harvest season of everything that's in store for you. Let's just start enjoying it now. Let's start from worth and not from lack. These are all the things that we build inside the Eight Beautiful program. If you want more on that, I'm sure there's a video associated here. I just want you to know you are precious. You are loved. You are infinite. You matter and your body matters. And I want to help you feel at home in it and like it and love it and fall madly in love with all of you. I love you. I will see you next time. Remember, you are infinite. A proof. You are infinite. Okay. I'm Jennifer Lucas Gibbs. I will see you on the next Reframe.